Hi everybody, I'm Simon from Viezu, and in today's video we're going to show you how you can unlock, ready for OBD tuning, your GPEC2A ECU with the GPEC3. It's really easy to do, saves you a load of time, money and effort when trying to unlock it via other methods. So let's jump straight into it. We're going to show you how we approach opening the ECU, and for our full video taking you through the best methods and approach to opening any ECU, check out our video online for that. So we'll start the process with this ECU. We'll show you the connection method with the GPEC3 and show you just how easy it is to apply the patch to unlock and enable OBD tuning on your GPEC2A. So to begin with, we've got our Dodge Challenger 6.2 SRT Hellcat, very popular car for tuning with the GPEC2A ECU. We'll press continue and you'll see on your GPEC3 you have those two tuning methods. The first one being the OBD that supports the reading but does require an unlock, which brings us to our boot method, showing you the function available being the ECU patch, which is the unlock for OBD. We'll select that option, press continue, and it's going to show us the manual for our connections. It's really important you check these manuals for any ECU you're working on, of course. No matter how many times you've tuned a particular vehicle, always double check the instructions. We can see on here we're going to need to make a connection with our bench connections to the grey connector plug on the ECU, but we're also going to need to take the back piece off the ECU, so that's the ECU lid if you like, and we're going to have to make a connection to the circuit board to make our CNF1 pin connection. So this is a little bit different to many ECUs where the connectors are on the ends. We're going to need to put a little brace or stand between these two plugs, so when we've made our bench connections we can easily rotate the ECU without affecting those connections or bending any pins, allowing us then to use the Alientech BDM frame and the pogo sticks to then make our connection to that specific boot pin. So to open this ECU we're going to need to take the metal tabs that you'll see located all the way around. We're going to need to bend those back slightly, just enough to create clearance for the main ECU board. And then on the opposite side of the ECU we're going to need to put a nice flat edge between the ECU lid and the main ECU frame itself to start to separate the lid apart. Whenever you're doing this, and again we cover this in detail in our how to open an ECU video, it's best to lever away from the circuit board. So in this case with the ECU lid at the top we'll be inserting a screwdriver or flat edge and levering away from the circuit board. Again, don't try and encroach any more than about 4 or 5 millimeters into the actual ECU lid itself, and you'll see more details on why that's best practice in our how to open an ECU video that we have online. With some of the circuit boards you may notice this shiny sort of gloss finish on there. Sometimes that can interrupt the connection, so with a fiberglass pen where the boot pin needs to go for the CNF, we just give it a little rub just to clean up any sort of protective seal that's on the top of that resistor, so we can get a nice clean connection. Obviously taking great care not to damage any of the connections around it. So we'll now need to make the connections onto the pins. So we'll start with our black earth. Obviously take care when doing this, as we do have the ECU lid removed, so the circuit board is exposed on the back. So now we have our bench connections made, we need to make sure that we elevate the ECU sufficiently away from the workbench or desk you're working on so that we don't interfere with any of these bench connections, so we can also access the circuit board to make our CNF1, that typical pin connection. So roll of workshop tape sits nicely between the two ECU connectors and then allows us to place the ECU on the workbench while still maintaining all of our bench connections. Utilising the BDM frame from Alientech, we can position this next to the ECU, and taking our CNF1 probe we can then make the connection to the pin that we've previously cleaned up. When you've done that, you simply then need to get your CNF1 cable, connect it to the CNF1 pin with a crocodile clip, making sure you've got a secure connection on there and keeping that just away from the circuit board itself. Then you're ready to start the unlock process. When you've made all of your connections to the ECU, then we need to proceed to the identification screen. Press the identify button and the CES will now start to communicate with the ECU. This may take a few moments. So we can see it's identified the ECU. We've got communication at the side here, hardware and software numbers, and irrelevant of whether you're using a master or a client tool, whilst you may see different options on the screen here in the middle for your tool, the important bit is the ECU patch on the side. And as we can see here, it actually tells us the process to follow. So we need to make a backup, then press the ECU patch button. It will ask us to select the backup file, which it will then patch and write that to the ECU, enabling the OBD function for tuning. The backup read will be taking a backup of all of the ECU data that's available, whether that's in the micro and the EEPROM in this case, but on other ECUs it may be the micro, the flash and the EEPROM. This will take a couple of minutes to go through. Once it's completed and saved, we'll then load this file as part of the patch process to continue. The reading process will take several minutes depending on the ECU you're working on. For the ease of this video, we've sped up this process slightly so you don't have to sit there watching a progress bar continue. Once the reading is completed and you've saved your backup file, we'll then need to press the patch button in the software. Once the ECU has been successfully patched, the software will then give you a new backup file with the PTH extension. This is a backup file with the patch included. Once this process is completed, the ECU is ready to be sealed and put back into the vehicle. Now that we've successfully patched the ECU, we need to reverse the steps that we took earlier to make those connections. So remove the CNF pin and then carefully take the connections off the loom plug that's on the ECU, so the bench connections we made, and take your ECU lid, put a small silicone layer around it with high temperature resistant automotive silicone and replace it back onto the ECU lid, taking care to carefully bend these tabs back around the ECU. Once you're happy that it's all nicely sealed, replace it back into the vehicle and you're ready to OBD tune. To enable your workshop or you as a tuner to start unlocking GPEC2A ECUs and a range of other ECUs as well, there's no better time to get your KES 3 than now. So contact us on info@viezu.com, call us on 0044 1789 774444, or you can drop us a message on this video or any of our social medias to talk to one of our trade team today about putting the power of unlocks into your hand, enabling you to do same-day tuning on these vehicles. Thanks for watching everybody, and I hope you enjoyed.